Hello everyone, Nicole here and welcome back to my channel. I am so excited to be a part of the Pear Blossom Press Easy Light vlog hop today, and I wanted to share with you the card that I made that features the Easy Light lights. And I don't know if you can see that, but those are little lights lighting up in my card that says "You are my true north." And these are the light packs, and I'm going to show you exactly how you're going to set this up to create your own interactive light up cards, and we'll put this whole project together. I know you're just going to love it. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is do some Distress Oxide blending just to get this really cool purple misty mountain. And I was thinking about, purple mountain majesties from when like the sun is setting and you get all those beautiful colors in the sky. So since this is kind of a night sky, I wanted to indicate the mountains, but I didn't want them to be black or stark white or anything like that. So I decided to do some ink blending on some gray cardstock. So I'm starting with Sealess Preserves. And this is actually a really quick blend because I'm starting with the gray. I don't have to work so hard to try to get a really dark color. I want to see that gray underneath. And it's just really easy to kind of get this all in place. So start with that Sealess Preserves. And that's pretty good. And I don't have to go all the way up either because as you can see in the card, most of it's going to be covered by the rest of the project. So now I'm into Wilted Violet, and that's going to add that really, really nice, more mellow purple. And I'm almost going directly over the Sealess Preserves. I'm leaving just a little bit of that clear at the bottom there. All right. So blend that all in gorgeously. And then I'm going to end with Chipped Sapphire to get more of a darker shade at the top to help blending into that night sky above. All right, and again, most of this is going to be hidden. You're going to see just the very littlest bit of it, but it is kind of blending in with the purples below. And look at how beautiful that is. I mean, that is really just a gorgeous kind of night sky night sky look. Okay, so now that I've got that all in place, I can go ahead and clean up my little workspace here and move on to some assembly. Okay, so the next thing is to put together my beautiful sky background here, and I used the painted landscape die from Waffle Flower, and I love this die. I actually used it once before in the opposite way to make a whole bunch of ground underneath and then have the mountains on top. It was actually a really, really cool look, and I will link to that in my blog post. But I wanted to show you that I save all the extra pieces. So because I have to cut out a whole bunch of different colors, of course I'm going to get some overlap and whatnot, and if I have usable pieces, I just keep them in this little package here with the die, so that way when I go to use it again, I can look through here first and grab out pieces that I can use from here before I go cut more. So that really kind of works out good to kind of have everything together in one place for that. Okay, so here is my background. And this is the starter piece. So you want to make sure that you have this in place before you start putting the rest of the project together. So I'm going to add just a little bit of adhesive all the way around this outside edge. And then on our little mountain divider here. Okay. And that goes right on our blended card base. So just remember that the lighter purple should be towards the bottom. And then you're going to see how those mountains now have just started to come alive. All right, so then I like to work from, you can work from top to bottom or bottom to top. It's just you have to work from one direction or the other. I usually work from the top down. So I have another piece of black cardstock cut here to fill in the top of our night sky. And these pieces just fit right back in like a puzzle. And as long as you know your colors, your lightest to darkest or what have you, you can just pop these all right into place. It comes together beautifully, like so, and they butt right up against each other, so make sure that you've got them fitting in there perfectly. All right, this next piece is more of a royal blue. Really, really pretty. This is a great way to use up scraps. So if you have strips of cardstock, you can cut them up using this die and create really cool colored background landscapes. All right, and the next one will be this more aqua blue. The one thing I would say is if you're not familiar with the die, make sure that you know which way is up before you put your glue on it, so you don't put it on the wrong side, right? Okay. So this pops right over the top of the mountain there. Gorgeous. And then this last one, this piece goes here, and then there's this one little piece that fits on the other side of the mountain. Okay, so pop those in. Okay. All right, so see how quick that can come together? I mean, it takes you longer actually to do all of the die cutting than it does to put it together. So in our next steps, we will do the stars and the spackle and then talk about the easy lights. Okay, so I'm going to start with the spatter, and a trick for this is to grab a piece of the dies and cover in those mountains so that way you don't get any of the spatter on there. So I am using the Distress Spray Stain in Picket Fence, and I'm just going to get a little bit of spatter on here like so. All right, and that little spot, that's just going to have to stay right there, isn't it? Okay, so I didn't get a whole lot on the mountains underneath, which is really great, but that'll just pop right out. Anyway, and can go back into my scraps. All right. So those just need a minute or two to dry, and while they're doing that, I'm going to go ahead and start putting together where my little stars are going to go. So I think I'm going to put one like here. And I definitely want to put the largest one over on the right side here. So that's probably going to go there. And then I like to split this up here. So I am going to go ahead and tape these down completely with some Post-it tape so that they really don't move at all. And this has to go through my big die cut machine. So I will take care of that off camera, and the rest of this will dry up, and then we can look at the easy lights. All right, so now it's time to dive in putting together our easy light and all of its inner workings. Got this whole thing die cut and ready to go, and I'm going to place it over my card base. It has a piece of black cardstock mounted to it, and I'm going to use a pencil to trace out my stars. And this doesn't have to be perfect by any stretch of the imagination. It just needs to give us an idea of where they're going to be. All right, and then I need to think about where I want my little press button to be, which is going to end up kind of down here. And if you see on my original card, I've got the true north, and that's actually the push button. So I want to make sure that I get this kind of over here. So I kind of eyeball that in place there. Okay. So I can finish this now, and what I'm going to do is take some, actually, yeah, so what I'm going to do is take some vellum pieces and adhere them to the back. Okay, and then I'm going to color them in with a Copic marker so that they're yellow. And this is just Y19. Any Copic marker will do because it dries quickly on vellum. All right. right? And so even when it's not lit up, it'll look really cute because it'll have yellow stars now. Okay, so I can set this aside for the moment and we can work on this base here. So this is the Easy Light by Pear Blossom Press, and I met Amanda at Creativation. I was so excited when she handed me one of her single packs, and then she asked me to be a part of this hop, and she sent me a 5-pack, and I'm just like, oh my goodness, all the things I can make with it. So it is really cool because you don't have to buy anything extra. It comes with everything you need. It's a pre-wired all-in-one unit, and it comes, so each one comes with 3 lights on it, and you get even the battery and everything. So it's very easy. You take the battery and you slip it in the top here with the plus side up, and then all you have to do is press the button and your lights light up. It is so easy. Okay, so Easy Light, haha. Okay, so now that I have that all assembled and all the lights are working, I'm going to use, I like to use some crazy glue actually to glue it to the paper. So I've got, because this is like plasticky and I want to make sure that it stays in place. So I had that marked where I wanted it to go. And now I can just pop that down there and hold it for a second or two, and it will eventually grab and basically freeze in place, which is like exactly what I wanted to do. Okay, oh, fun lights. Yeah, so that's stuck down now. Okay, great. So the next step, I've got some washi tape, and then I've got my 3 lights. So carefully, I just need to pull them apart here. And each light has a red and a blue wire. All right, and sometimes they're kind of twisted together. So I untwist everything. There we go. Make sure they're all free of each other. And you can leave them kind of twisted down at the bottom. Okay, so I'm going to take these 2 and kind of push them out of the way a little bit and work on this one. So you don't want to put it right in the center, because if you do, when it lights up, you really see like this big glow. I mean, I guess if that's what you're going for, you could do that. That would be just fine. But I kind of wanted to have a little offset, so it just kind of lit up the whole thing. Either way would work. If you're going to attach it in the center, which I guess we could do for this one, you know, you're going to want it to go right in there, but you have all this extra. So the best thing to do is to twist it around once or twice. So you've got like a little curly Q going on here, and get it right in place. And if you want it to come in the center, great. You can put it right in the center there, or if you want it to be offset to the side, you can offset it to the side. That's why we went ahead and made those pencil marks, so we knew exactly where those stars were going to be. Okay, and then I'm going to take a piece of washi tape. This is just some old scrap washi tape that I have in my stash. And pull that right up to where I want it. So let's say we want to put it right in the middle. And then I'm going to put that washi tape just out of sight. And that's all you need to do. And so it's just lather, rinse, repeat for the other 2. So go ahead and kind of twist around once or twice to give yourself a little coil to work with, and extend it up into the zone, if you will. So I'm going to put this one in the center as well. And just, you know, make sure that your washi tape is out of sight. So there we go. And then the same thing with our 3rd one. Twist it around a couple times. And pop it also in the center. All right. All right, and then if you want to, you can take another piece of washi to hold those down if you want, or really they'll be fine where they are. But if you feel like you need to add just a little bit extra so that those don't come popping up, of course you can do that. you know, just to kind of keep everything in place. All right, and that's all there is to it. And then test your light one more time. Make sure that those guys are popping like they're supposed to. And then before you commit to anything, you can put this right on top and then press where you think that's going to show up, and poof, there you go. Pretty awesome, right? Okay, so let's finish this card up. I have some strips of black fun foam, and I cut them into 1/4 inch wide strips. It worked best for this project. You can go wider just depending on where your button is and where your lights are. It's all kind of up to what your project dictates. But what I did is I cut them into 1/4 inch strips, and then I glued them together. So it's 2 pieces, 2 thicknesses of the fun foam. All right, and then I will just go ahead and put my first piece down here. All right, give that a second to dry in place. Put my second one up here and give that a second to dry in place. All right. Then I'll grab my scissors and just snip those off. All right. So basically, you know, just adding in these little foam bumpers to keep everything from getting too smushed. And then with my leftover pieces, I can go ahead and create my final bumpers. That one might have been just a hair too big, huh? There we go. All right, so got those all popped into place. And then I can put more adhesive on the top here. And put my card front on it. All right. Now, if you don't have like a push here kind of button looking thing, what I did is I just use a cute little stamp. This was from the You and Me Quotes and Sayings from scrapbook.com, this little You Are My True North. I thought that really went with the theme here, so I turned that into a little circle. And you could always just add like a little post-it note that says push here that they could remove when your recipient gets it. And then they'll always know that if they press the sentiment, they're going to get a little light up card. All right, guys, I hope you really enjoyed this and you enjoy all of the projects that you're seeing as a part of the Pear Blossom Press Easy Light Hop. I'm so glad that you're joining all of us and that you got a chance to explore this fun new interactive tool. I'll be back again with another video soon, but until next time, happy crafting.